So what does it cost to run a truck on a lease op? At Stevens and at Prime. Comparison coming right up.
Everybody get up.
Hey everybody, it's me, Mark Staite, back here talking with you. Welcome into the rest area. I'm on I-55 here in Illinois. I don't know what rest area it is, but it's got shade trees, nice little table with not too much bird junk on it. Anyways, I get this question a lot, which is about what's the cost of leasing a truck at Stevens versus leasing at Prime. Well, first and foremost, when it comes to financial numbers, my exact numbers, I think I've shared enough already to kind of give you a picture, but I'd like to do a comparison video with you today. I'm keeping a close eye on giving out exact numbers for many reasons, which are personal. Trust me, I'd love to share, but there's other factors involved. But I can give you a rough idea by giving you a comparison between the two. Stevens, leasing a truck. When I started with Stevens, when I leased my truck there, in the beginning, things were fine. I stated my goals to the business manager, and they were doable goals, and we got there, and everything was running fine. And of course, as you know in previous videos, Stevens changed up how they operate a little bit. Not so much the Alliance program, because Alliance is totally different than Stevens Transport. One doesn't dictate to the other because Alliance is a totally separate business than Stevens Transport, even though they're owned by the same group. So when the operations changed at Stevens, it affected how the leases were making money, and that's the trouble I was having. So I went from $900 to $1,000 a week. They made the changes, and that dropped to like $400 and $500 a week. And that's where the problems arose, and I started looking elsewhere to find a happier home. My fixed costs at Stevens on leasing a truck, between the lease of the truck, the insurance, Qualcomm, APU charges, all those fixed costs were running about $1,100 a week, $1,150 a week. Fuel costs, of course, varied because of MPG and, miles traveled. So those are a variable cost. Those I really don't even count into the equation in doing this comparison. It's mainly the fixed cost we're going to stay focused on today. How does Prime compare? Well, we'll get to that in a second. How Stevens pays its Alliance drivers is, cents per mile. The base cents per mile, what they pay the contractors per mile, is 86 cents per mile, plus 100% of the fuel surcharge, which ballparks between 32 and 40 cents a mile, depending on whatever the price of fuel is. As you know, as an operator, those prices change. But usually you can count on total with the 86 cents per mile, plus the fuel surcharge, you're looking about $1.18 to $1.28, $1.30 on the high side per mile, running with Stevens to cover fixed costs of about $1,150. That gives you a rough idea. So your fixed cost $1,150, your fixed rate per mile at about $1.18 to $1.20 per mile, which you're being paid in gross revenue, versus fixed costs of about $1,150 a week. Prime doesn't pay per mile. The fixed costs are about the same. They run about $1,200 a week for fixed costs at Prime. That's with a full-size truck, the full cab, not the lightweight coffin sleeper, as most call it. This is the full-size, double bunk, brand new Freightliner, brand spanking new Freightliner. Same costs are there. The truck payment's there each week. Insurance cost is there every week. APU, Qualcomm, it's all still there. So it's a good apples to apples comparison. Again, Prime runs about $50 a week more. Costs me about $1,200 a week. Where the difference comes into play and where I found the happiness with Prime is in the revenue, on the revenue side of the equation. Prime pays 72% of the value of the line haul, and I see the white sheets, basically what they're booking that one particular, whatever load it is, that particular load I'm looking at. So whatever line item they send at me, whatever load they send at me, I know I'm making 72% of the value of the booked load because I see the signed contract in the white sheet. Same with the fuel surcharge. I see what's collected in fuel surcharge, as well as refrigeration, the reefer fuel surcharge. I see that too. Here it is about 4.5 months into it, and right now I'm averaging about $1.48 per mile. Big difference between $1.20 and $1.48. Also, where I'm seeing is in my variable cost. I'm seeing more profit in my variable because I'm able to reduce my fuel cost. The truck that I'm in right now, the green limousine, that brand new Freightliner, I'm averaging about 8.9, 9.0 miles per gallon. In my Peterbilt over at Stevens, I was only averaging 7.6 lifetime average. Big difference between 7.6 lifetime and a 9.0 lifetime. So I'm keeping more of my fuel surcharge as well. So between the percentage pay that Prime has with me and the fuel surcharge money that I'm making there as well, not even counting fuel surcharge, just the line item comparison, dollar for dollar being paid per mile. Base at Prime, I'm making right now about $1.42 per mile. Stevens, I was only making $1.21. Big difference in money. So I'm not working as hard, but I'm making more money. I hope that gives you a clearer picture of the difference between leasing a truck at Stevens and leasing a truck with Prime, because there is a difference. For me personally, in real world terms, let me put it this way. At Stevens, I was surviving. I was paying my bills, making my child support payments, and just surviving. With Prime, I'm able to pay my bills. I've even added more bills with the Verizon hotspot. I'm able to make my child support payments on time. I was able to open up a 401k retirement savings plan, contributing to that again. A 529 college fund for my son. I'm able to contribute to that each week now. I've got an investment account where I'm now purchasing stock a little bit at a time. And I make enough also to put towards cruising, which I mentioned earlier. So, and I still have plenty of money in the bank account to go grab, pig out at a barbecue joint from time to time. So, lifestyle-wise, I have more money in my pocket with Prime to do more of the things I want to do with it, which is investing in my son's future and mine. So, it's a good place to be, and I want you to be there as well. So when it comes to leasing a truck, it's up to you. It's a tough call. It's a scary one. You got to really do your homework, but at some point you've got to pull the trigger, make the jump. Just make sure you make the right jump. I'll see you guys next time. My break's over. I'm out of here.